Hey guys, so I wanted to try something a little bit different this week with your math lessons. We're going to be learning how to um, convert customary units of measure and metric units of measure. It might sound a little familiar because we started this before spring break, but I thought you might need a refresher. So I'm going to quickly go through your slides. And then for your assignment, I want you to go back through the slides on your own and fill in some of the answers. You can work things out in your journal on a piece of paper. If you feel comfortable writing things down on the actual slideshow, work it however you want. That isn't the important part to me. It's that you understand it. So I'm going to go through it quickly, and then you can go back and work on this at your own pace. So I left you some cute little Bitmojis telling you that I miss you. And the next page is your vocabulary cards. You can find these cards in your math book from pages 617 through 622. If you want to click here, it will take you to a link that we put in here with the words. It gives you a good picture to describe the vocabulary word because sometimes it gets a little fuzzy. These are a lot of words that might be kind of abstract to you, but the pictures will help you put that name with something that maybe makes more sense. The backs, if you want an extension or you want something else to do, it's a great way to make sure that you really understand what you're talking about. Like millimeter, decimeter, kilometer, milliliter. There are 3 pages of fronts and 3 pages of backs. It's a great resource for you, but it's also in your textbook if you need it. The next page, this part's really important. It says if you have any trouble using this document, just go to lesson 12.4 in your math book. I believe that it's still in there. I know that we did a couple of these lessons right before the break, but I don't remember if we pulled them out of our books or not. All the questions in this slideshow I pulled straight from the textbook in hopes that you would have a resource to look back on in case you had trouble. It says changing, which means converting means changing. So changing customary units of measurement, and it's 12.4. The next slides will help you understand how to convert different units of measurement into smaller or larger units of measurement, like inches to feet or feet to inches, bigger units to smaller units. Can you brainstorm a time that it might be necessary to change a measurement of inches to feet or pounds to ounces? I convert measurements all the time when I'm cooking in the kitchen. And I bet that someone in your household will tell you that they've done that too. But this says it's definitely an important skill to know and understand, and ask someone in your home if they've ever needed to convert a measurement to a different unit. And I bet they'll tell you yes. Here's a journal entry. Again, I can't remember if we did the journal entry. I left my journal at school. So it says, add this information to your math journal to help you in the future. If you already have this or something similar to this, just review what you wrote. It says you can use a table to help convert your measurements, and that's what they want us to be able to do in 4th grade, is to put the information into like an in-out table. So you can draw your in-out boxes, draw your or write in your units. And in this particular case, the question is how many inches are in 14 feet? So, we've got inches, we've got feet. And so then the second part is to put in what you know. We know we have 12 inches, so 12 goes in the inches box. And we know that 12 inches equals 1 foot. So we're trying to get to 14 feet. Now it says find the rule and solve. So what did I do to 1 to get 12? Well, I multiplied by 12. So what do I have to do to 14? I've got to multiply by 12. That's basically it. Copy that down, throw it in your journal. Okay, and so after you have your journal entry, we're going to start the lesson. So it says the table can be used to change one customary unit of measure to another. So over here, and I know we talked about this before we left, 1 foot equals 12 inches, 1 yard equals 36 inches, 1 yard equals 3 feet. So these are our units: feet, yards, miles, inches, feet, and yards. And you're changing from one unit, feet, to another unit, inches. So that's the whole idea of it. The next page says the measurements in each box are equivalent amounts. However, the unit on the left, the unit that's highlighted over here, is larger than the unit on the right. Why do you think that is? So 1 foot, feet, are larger than inches. So why do you think the unit on the left is larger than the unit on the right, or what that really means? And in a minute, you're going to come back here. You'll double click in this box just like that, and you can type your answers here. And then at the end, you'll turn it in and I can see what you typed. This isn't for a number grade. It's just to see that you're doing the lesson before you start clicking through the quiz. Next slide says the number of larger units is less than the number of smaller units. So for example, a foot is larger than an inch. So it takes less feet than inches to measure something. So if you have something that's 2 feet long, it's only going to take 2 rulers to measure because you're measuring by a foot. But if you're measuring by an inch, it's going to take 24 inches because your inches are smaller than your feet. So it will take less feet to get there than inches. So if you use that table on the right, I want you to tell me how many feet are in 2 yards. And so you'll look at 2 yards. I know 1 yard is 36 inches, and I also know that 1 yard is 3 feet. So if 1 yard is 3 feet, 2 yards, and you're going to type your answer in this box when you go back. This slide helps you figure out how to get that answer. Then it says, how many feet are equal to 84 inches? Let's find out. Are you changing from a larger unit to a smaller unit, or from a smaller unit to a larger unit? So I want to know how many feet are in 84 inches. So I'm going from inches to feet. 1 ruler is about a foot. So am I going from a smaller unit to a larger, or a larger to a smaller? This next slide will help you figure that out. And then it says, which word best fits in this box? You should have blank feet than inches because feet cover more distance than inches. Is it more or is it fewer? You decide. And when you make that decision, you can come to this pink box, scoot it over, and the correct answer is underneath. We're doing the same kind of conversions on the next one. It says division will give you fewer units. Oh, let me go back to this slide. It says when you change from inches to feet, you're changing from a smaller unit to a larger unit. When you change from a smaller unit to a larger unit, you're going to have, will you have fewer, more, or fewer? That's what you need to decide before you go here. Now, we're going from 84 inches to feet. So division is going to give you fewer units. If I have 84 inches and I've got to get to fewer feet, I have to divide. And over here on the right, I left you a little reminder. Remember that you're going to multiply if you're changing larger units to smaller units. So feet to inches. You're going to have more inches than feet. And then you can divide if you're changing a smaller unit to a larger unit. Next page, this helps you figure out the answer to that question. And then you're going to do some practice here. It says in 8 through 12, find the missing number. You're going to double click in the blue boxes to type your answer in here. Then you'll just type a number. So you're going from 4 pints to quarts. So pints are smaller than quarts, so you divide. Teaspoons are smaller than tablespoons, so you divide. Cups are greater than fluid ounces, so you multiply. Um, Tablespoons are greater than teaspoons, so you multiply. That's just some practice. And then there's a couple more review questions here. Double click, write your answers. That is all of 12-4 converting customary units. And then there's only a few more slides for 12-9 because you're doing metric units, and it's the same rule. You have to remember when to multiply and when to divide. So it says you multiply if you're changing from a larger unit to a smaller unit, and you divide if you're changing from a smaller unit to a larger unit. And I really think if you would draw a table, it will help you find the rule and fill that table in. These questions came straight from page 671 and 600 through 673. We're talking about a butterfly from centimeter to millimeter. And then here are some helpful hints and a table. And here are some helpful hints and a table. And then you've got a little bit more practice. And that's it. That's your whole lesson. These tables will be super helpful for you when you do your your conversion assessment here in a few minutes or tomorrow or whenever you decide to do it. But use this lesson to help you. So after you're done listening to me, and maybe you skip this part altogether, exit out and then go back and work on this yourself. I'm super proud of you guys. I miss you so much. Message me if you have a question. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.